They see a little bit of talent, or they see something that goes, this guy gets it, I'm going to give you a bit more. I'm going to encourage you. I'm not going to give it to you easy.
Yeah.
But I'll encourage you.
And sort of steer you along. And
yeah.
And that does build that confidence in, because that's something here that I really want to push with the students. And I think just with people in life, you know, that confidence thing. Wow, that's, And then what did you find, where did that lead you then from doing the lessons?
So then
teaching?
I was doing, I hooked up with one of the students there, and she was a singer who played guitar as well. And her name was Sharon Carpenter. And we used to play Carpenter's songs. I'm not kidding. It's a cracker.
Williams.
And we would do old people's homes, and we would do shopping centres.
Nice.
And from there, I started, the guy that ran the shop, the woman that ran the shop, her son was one of the drum teachers. Wow. And he hooked up with one of the piano teachers, and then they asked me if I would come along and do wedding receptions with them playing bass. I was allowed to bring my guitar, but they bought me a bass, and I would do some gigs, some songs on bass, some on guitar. And it was a really great experience for me, because we were playing all those like pop tunes, but dinner music as well.
Yeah,
so you'd play The Girl with Emphysema, you know, and you would short and fat and dumb and ugly, the girl with emphysema goes walking, and when she passes the boys, they all go.
Yeah.
But you know, it was great because it gave me an idea of harmony and how it works.
Yeah, man.
Right. So it was you were learning the root notes of everything, and the fifths and then the thirds to get there. And it was a great concept, you know.
I love it.
So I did a lot of weddings and, you know, those sorts of gigs.
Yeah, man.
And at school I was, you know, jamming with people and stuff, and then I left school really early.
Yep.
And I was doing you know, cover bands and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cover bands are great, you know, getting out and doing
Best thing.
Yeah.
Best thing ever.
And usually you want to try and copy the music that you love when possible.
Yeah, that's right.
The gig, yeah.
Look, it wasn't till much later. I mean, I did cover bands for many years until I was about 25. Oh no, I did a tour when I was 15 years old through the school that I was learning with a guy called Jamie Redfern. Now he was a big thing on Young Talent Time. Okay, so I did a tour, and that was pretty amazing for me. And then it wasn't until I was about 21 I got a gig with Stevie Wright from the Easy Beats, doing Evie, just supporting that album. So that was an incredible time for me, and that was a good year's worth of touring, which I'd never done before.
There's an education.
A real total education.
Yeah.
And then I got back into cover bands again until about the 86, I think. I went for an audition and got a gig with Richard Clapton, who was a big Australian artist in those days. And from that, it led to more and more big gigs.
Just everything leading to everything.
But at the same time, I was working, before Richard, I was playing with a band with a bass player that was doing all the sessions around town. And he would recommend me for sessions.
Wow.
And so I started doing jingles, and I was doing jingles all day. Every day. It's 3-5 times a day.
Wow.
Making a fortune.
Yeah. That would have been like the real kind of golden kind of time.
It was a really amazing time. I mean, it was, you know, rolling up to a session in the morning, and even towards the end, I mean, I had a full-time roadie that was lugging my gear from one session to the other, and I'd meet him there, and he'd go and pack up that one and do that.
Wow.
It was an interesting time, and there was a lot of music, and music was important in those days.
Yeah.
On TV, you know, it was about the song, it was about the band getting together and playing the music for the product. And there was a lot more music on TV in those days. Yeah. So that was a really interesting time doing the major touring bands and lots of session work.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah.
Okay. Absolutely. Like favorite guitar. What's your one?
If I had only
Desert Island guitar.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I've got about 60 of them.
Wow.
And the one that I used to use, well, I don't use it as much anymore because I found another one. But if I do a gig, you've asked me to do, you know, you've asked me to pick one girl.
Yeah. I know.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
But if I was to, I mean, if I do a gig, I usually take 3 or 4 guitars at minimum.
Yeah.
If I can take 2 guitars, I take a Strat that I've built myself and an Ibanez Gem, Floral Gem.
Yeah, the Floral Gem.
Now the Floral Gem has been the most versatile guitar for me in any situation. I know that I can get a jazz sound out of it. I know I can get a great rock sound, and I know I can get a good funky Strat sound out of it. So they may not be exactly like that, like a Strat, but I can still make it work.
Yeah.
And it has a whammy bar that I can.
When you need to, it's there.
It's there.
It's stable.
It feels great. It's a beast. It's beaten up.
Is that one of the originals?
Yeah, it's an 80s.